players understand they haven't done anything yet. The most important week's coming up, and we're excited to be here. You know, the only thing I sense is excitement about what the team can achieve this week. Yeah, no, it's tough for Willie. He's been a great contributor, very well-liked member of the squad, and yeah, he's in tears in the dressing room. It's tough for him, but he's collected himself and he now knows he's got another role to play for us, and he'll fulfil that role really well this week. Well, Ben's been in and around the squad consistently for the last couple of years, so he knows the game, he knows the players, he's a fit guy, and just fits in quite readily, and we always said for those guys who are outside the 31 that they need to be ready, and he's ready to go. Well, it's just a great opportunity ahead of him. You know, he's come to the squad, he's got to learn a few new things. Willie will help him and Benny will help him with that. And he's the task at hand is no different from any other player. He's just got to learn a little bit more in the early part of the week and get himself physically and mentally ready. Yeah, no, pretty good. Look, we had a walk through this morning and we had to tell Johnny to slow down a bit. He's probably in better condition than he was last week at this stage, immeasurably better. You know, Owen's a bit sore, but he'll be fine. We've got a few others carrying bumps and bruises because it was a tough old game. Yeah, it was a tough old game. You know, it was interesting. Both the coaches and the captain spoke about the fact that they anticipated the game to be an arm wrestle, and it was. You know, it was a tough, exacting semi-final, and I think that's what we expected the World Cup, so we're looking forward to playing against South Africa now. Well, the only thing we were really worried about is how the Springboks turn up on Saturday. You know, they won a tough semi-final, and when you're in the final of the World Cup, you've done a lot of good things right. You know, they're a massively aggressive, physical forward pack. They probably played their stronger team in the second half as opposed to the first half. And they're going to be a difficult side to beat. But we're going to enjoy the preparation this week, get ourselves right. We know a couple of areas that we think we can expose in them, and we'll make sure we're well prepared in those areas. Well, that's one of the most satisfying things I've heard, is that man who emptied the tank. Because that's what we want our players to do. Empty the tank, and that's how they should be at the end of the game. Absolutely exhausted, but the great thing about our players is that physically they're in fantastic condition, so their ability to recover is extraordinary. They've also, I think I mentioned at the last press conference we had, that they've taken to the onsens in droves, and it's a great way of recovering. You know, you think about how smart the Japanese are. 150 years ago, each village had its own onsen, which is the perfect recovery. Hot, cold, you have some social interaction, so you relax. It's perfect. So our players are better today than they were last week. And I would hesitate to say our training is going to be of a higher standard this week than it was last week. That's how good a condition we're in. Oh, well, I think it's great. You know, you give the country something to cheer about. And with Brexit at the moment, they probably need something to cheer about. And so, you know, it's a job of the team to make the country happy. And we've made the country happy, not as happy as they can be, because there's still a game to go, as we said, but it's a great way. And the crowds here generally at the World Cup have been fantastic. I thought our supporters on Saturday night were massively instrumental in helping us get home. You know, their singing, their general support of the team's been outstanding, and we urge them to keep doing that. Yeah, we're excited about the prospect. We know the final comes with pressure, but we're excited about handling that, and we feel that's an advantage we've got.
Like we said earlier, we only see it as an opportunity for this group. Unbelievably excited. I think from the team point of view, we know we can get better. There's more in this group, and this week allows us to grow even more to put our best performance of the weekend.
Well, I think, you know, Russ is a cunning coach. He's a very good coach. He's done a great job with the Springboks, and yeah, we're prepared for the unexpected. They can play different ways. You know, you saw last night Faf de Klerk probably do 15 to 20 box kicks in the game, but we know Pollard's an excellent kicker of the ball, and the way he goal kicked last night was fantastic. You know, he was smooth, he had nice touch on the ball, and that's a wonderful advantage for them. So we know they can play differently, and we're aware of that, but we also know they're going to come through the front door. There's not too many Springbok teams you play against that don't come through the front door. So we've got to be ready at the front door and have enough to cover the back door if it so happens.
Eddie, you've spoken a lot about the Stephen Donald story. How many similarities are there with Ben Spencer coming out here and Ben Young's? What can you share a bit of insight into the meetings and the chats you've had since he arrived?
Well, he'll definitely have a shirt that fits him, so that's a significant difference. To my knowledge, he hasn't been whitebait fishing, so that's two significant differences. Look, it's a great opportunity for the kid, and he's excited about it. As I said, he's been around the team. You know, we were just talking about how he played South Africa in June of 2018, and Ben was part of that squad. So it's just an opportunity for him to come in, fit in, do his job.
Yeah, look, he knows the group really well. He's got experience, so we'll keep him up to speed very, very quickly. He's keen to rip in straight away, so that's everything you want.
Look, we played a great team on Saturday, but we don't feel we've played as well as we can. And the challenge for us is to keep improving. And there's small margins now. As you go through the tournament, the margins get smaller, but the improvements you can make are still significant, and we're looking to see how we can keep improving for this week's game, and that's the exciting part for us. I actually forgot my pen last night, so I had to go high technology on the iPad, which I'm not that flash on, so there wasn't too many notes there. Well, guys, can you just send my best wishes to Warren and make sure he enjoys the third and fourth playoff?
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He likes confrontation in terms of getting the face of the fence. He obviously, like Eddie mentioned, huge amount goes through him in terms of his kicking game, so it'll be pretty pivotal to how South Africa play. And as always, that's come after you look forward to who you're playing against. And I've had a good few practice over the last few weeks playing against Kenya and Smith, and the weekend will be no difference against the opportunity to play against FAF, so it's one we're all relishing.
Well, it's always about, in the final, about doing less. You know, as the point's been made, we're at the end of now a 7-week tournament, so it's about just focusing on what's going to have a significant part of the game. It's not about doing everything, it's about just getting certain things right, keeping the players fresh physically, keeping them fresh mentally, making sure they've got enough to do off the field. So it's just getting the balance right of preparation. And coaches tend to think they've got to do more. So it's just making sure that the coach discipline are right, that we don't over-coach the players, we allow them to find their own rhythm to the week, because they'll be ready to go. Motivations, you don't lack motivation for a World Cup final. So our players will be ready to go. We want to ensure that they're ready to go, they're physically fresh, they're mentally clear, they've got the game plan in their head, they know how they want to play, and they're aware of the challenges ahead. And we'll be that on Saturday. You know, that's why we can be fairly relaxed about this week. We've done a lot of hard work. We know what's ahead of us. We know how we can play to our strengths. We've got a pretty good idea what we've got to take away from the Springboks. But again, the point is they might come with something different, and then we'll need to adapt. And we've got a pretty good idea of who the referee's going to be, because there's only 2 left, so it's going to be one of the 2. And we've played under both of those guys, and we know they're first-class referees. We know they'll manage the game well, and they'll give all the obvious penalties, and we'll adapt to that. So we've played at the ground, Yokohama Stadium. It's a beautiful pitch. The support of the crowd is fantastic. So you know, we're relaxed, we're ready to go. The big thing for us is just holding back the players this week, making sure they don't go before the siren rings. Well, the assistant coach has done an outstanding job. you know, if you look at the percentage of work, I probably should give my money back, but I probably won't. Steve Borthwick and Hats in the forwards have done a great job. John Mitchell's come in, improved our defence. You know, Paul Gustard did an outstanding job for us, but John's come in and give us something a little bit different. The boys love working with him, and Wisey's as mad as ever. Like, he's like a cut snake, and he's got a great relationship with the players. He's fun. He's added a lot to our coaching staff. Well, the great thing is Willie wanted to stay and we wanted him to stay, so it wasn't a hard discussion. It's like when you want to get married, mate. If the lady wants to marry you and you offer them to marry, it's a pretty easy conversation. So it's an easy conversation. He's just a great bloke. You know, he works hard for the team. You know, Ben and him have got a really good relationship, and even now, you know, he's already started to mentor Ben Spencer. He's a really great teammate.